Hi, I'm Sarah Cowgill. Joining me today are Graham Noble, Dave Patterson, Andrew Moran, and Michelle White. And this is the Conservative 5, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. It was the slap heard around the world. The USA men's hockey team slapped in a goal in overtime to beat Canada, fourth gold. It was a priceless moment for America, not having won hockey gold since the 1980 Miracle on Ice, showing Russia where to put those hockey sticks. And that means, of course, on the wall of their apartment. This Olympic moment had the same passion behind it, just a different country. And while most of America celebrated, even the Olympics could not bridge the political divide. Everyone was squawking about their cause. And Andrew, you're on panel simply to be the Canadian punching bag for 2 minutes, but I'm going to let you start. So could you put our minds at rest? And yes, we really won that. And yes, Canada cheats at curling.
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't watch the game. I don't really care for hockey or the Olympics. But I did find the fallout reaction hilarious. All the Canadians, all the online Canadians complaining about how, the United States is not a democracy and Canada is so much better and Canada's democratic. It was absolutely, absurd. But I did say, I teased my kids heading into this game that if Canada wanted to win that game, they need to bring that Canadian curler from a couple of weeks ago to touch that puck and push it into the net. And that's how they would have won. But I will say this, that a real sport is back. And that sport is baseball. It's spring training. Baseball is back, baby. That's where you should go.
Andrew, no. Stay on point. And so I'm going to Dave, since Andrew just veered off the reservation. Dave, okay, so they have more teeth, but what's up with the American ice skater bashing her president?
Oh, I don't think the evidence really suggests that there's widespread trashing by the U.S. figure skaters as a group. Most of the coverage centered around one figure skater, Amber Glenn, and to a lesser extent, there were others in the skiing venues, but other skaters like Ilya Melanin and Elisa Liu, received praise for their performance and positive representation of the USA.
Well, you can't say that Ilya Melanin was not amazing. I mean, he was just amazing.
He had the right attitude, and I think he learned something about himself with after the a long program. I think, but
I think we all learned something.
Yeah. But, Glenn, by contrast, commented during a pre-Olympic press conference that it's been a hard time for the LGBTQ plus community overall in this administration. And my reaction was, who cares? She also raised concern.
I don't like them. I don't like the use of the platform, but that's just me. And I am a very big fan of the First Amendment, right? As Graham is. And so, our Olympic team can exercise that right, but is it wrong or right place? I mean, it's obviously a great audience, but wrong or right place, Graham?
Well, a lot of us these days, possibly on both sides of the political divide, often will complain about politics coming into everything, ideology coming into everything. But let's face it, when it comes to music, poetry, other types of prose, even art, there is a tradition going back literally centuries of these individual artists using those mediums to express their, cultural preferences, their political views, their ideals, whatever. It goes back a long way. So I don't really have a problem with it. It's a shame when certain once legendary musicians seem to have gotten to the point these days where expressing their political, views is more important than actually making good music. That's a shame. But, we expect that. But then, of course...
I think I know who you're talking about.
Right, yeah. Well, there's several of them. I mean, I'll name them, Bruce Springsteen, John Mayer, There was a time when I loved their music, both of them music, fantastic, and Springsteen was just a great live performer. I mean, to see him on stage, which I haven't done in person, but I've seen it on TV, and fantastic, and it's a shame the way he's decided that politics is more important than music. But anyway, getting back to it, it seeped into then the movie industry and TV dramas, and you can hardly get away from it. Now, with sports, I just think that, for a start, I'm not going to say that there should be somehow we should make some kind of law banning athletes from expressing their political point of view. That would be ridiculous.
Absolutely.
I think maybe sometimes these sporting governing bodies should tell them to tone it down a bit. But, I think, can't we all of us, whether you're a progressive or a Republican or a Democrat or a communist, a fascist, a libertarian, whatever you are, can't we just enjoy our sports without the politics? These athletes are quite welcome to get onto TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever after the game is over, and rant and rave about politics all they want. But, while you're there, playing your match, playing your tennis match, playing your hockey game, playing your football game, please just give everyone a break and let us enjoy and let us celebrate you. No matter what your political views are, let's celebrate your fantastic achievement of becoming a world-class athlete. And let's bask in your vicariously in your skill, and let's enjoy that. And save the politics, for afterwards.
If I may say something though, it seems like the media made more things about politics than the athletes this go around. I mean, I didn't follow the intricacies of this year's Olympics, but it seemed like
media has to, Andrew. They had
a story about this Chinese woman. I think she's a skier, Eliza Gu or something like that, and she, they were praising her. She's bringing
super.
But then New York Times started complaining about the U.S. men's hockey team and saying, "Oh, they represent oppression from Trump or whatever hot garbage they were reporting."
Well, their beef about Gu was that she was basically an American and she was competing for the Chinese. But
that's why they were celebrating. Okay.
Right. Yes. So I think, but there is this minor point, and that is that China does pop for $14 million for her as a salary, and that plus all of the endorsements probably had a lot to do with her choice of sponsorship.
Well, it's okay. We don't care. She did fine. I think the best example of political protest in your face at the Olympics might have been 1936 with Jesse Owen and Hitler. That's just my point. But was the Olympics more focused on anti-message than others, Michelle? I mean, 2026 versus any other. I mean, 1968 was the first one I remember being controversial.
Well, I wasn't here in 1968, so I don't even remember reading about it. But yes, I think it was, and I agree with everything Graham, with what everybody said, but was what Graham said. If you want to use your First Amendment right, the Olympics is not the place to do it, because we're all united at that point to watch a game. And it's our place to unplug from all of the other things that get us all riled up every day of the week and to enjoy a sport. And it should be something you can enjoy without politics. And the other thing is, if you have a First Amendment right to say, believe whatever you want, but you don't take a platform where there's not a discussion and kind of force it on other people and enjoy the moment of the whole competition and the victory and all of that comes with it, and just the American patriotism. So it does sour it, and it also almost is condescending to the ones that are watching, saying we're going to tell you how to think, and we're going to tell you what we think, and this is how you think. They have social media for that. But that's also become more common, I would say, in the last 20 years. I just have to say, I'm so proud of my Bruins, who made it to USA team hockey. And I was excited to see two of them honored. But I wish that there weren't politics in some of the other sports. They were very receptive and, loving on the United States, but some of the others, and I won't.
Look, too bad the Bruins can't win any real hockey games.
Yeah, I could have used it for another. It's Team USA. That's what you got to do.
8 of the Bruins made it to the finals, and then 2 made it in. So, no, I was excited. I'm just so excited that they won.
I'm just going to say that in terms of, people, and that's it. That's what annoys me is people kind of using their platform to force their opinions on other people. And I think it's high time in this country that we had a constitutional amendment saying that every citizen has the right not to put up with your shenanigan.
That would be a good one. That'd be a good one. Yeah, I totally agree that they have a right to say it, just not there. It's just let us enjoy our sport and have fun.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I think it's good. I think we've made great strides in the message, but quiet messaging is always a little more well receptive. So, whether we love our sport or refuse to watch for personal reasons, being a part of the team is double stitched into our DNA. It is a critical aspect of our culture. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon years. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, panel. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform. YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble. We're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation News has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. And stop by to see our new aggregate polling operation, The Public Square. I'm your host, Sarah Cowgill. Thanks for joining us today to get your fix of free thinking and free speech at libertynation.com.